His heart don't pump no Kool-Aid Sadiq. And this is our Sunday edition of the Demetra K Show. Yes, Nancy, it is an Indian summer. It's very hot.
Indian summer, you mean an Indian fall.
Indian summer, okay? Anyway, I don't know how long this afro is going to last, but we're going to see. So anyway.
You know, and I like that. You got the Michael Jackson, you know,
yeah,
the Triumph album. Yeah, the tilt.
Yeah, you know.
The drum
right. So anyway, thank you guys on Facebook for being here. Thank you to Marcus Guyton for doing everything he does behind the scenes. And also thank you to the podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Spotify.
Tumblr.
That's a Podbeam already. Tumblr. Also to YouTube. You guys will see this video in its full glory. For you guys on Facebook, you are seeing our green screen that we have here. And so we'll go ahead and get...
Romeo talking about hotel, yeah.
Yes. Hey, Arson, how are you?
Beautiful family, Romeo. Beautiful family.
Absolutely.
So I'm on Facebook.
And hello to everybody on here. And as always, we're going to get to every last one of your comments. And also, if you are on the watch parties that are going forth, I can't see your comments over there. But if you come over here and comment, I will be able to see your comment. And I promise I will address your comment, question, or concern as I do with everybody. And so I'll go ahead and get started here. So, as always on the Demetra K Show, the purpose is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people. So, last couple of weeks or so, I would say, have you been seeing any articles or anything about people, Black people, specifically Black women and girls missing?
Very few and far between.
Really?
Yeah, but there have been, some depending on what platform you go on.
I mean, I've seen it quite a bit, and so I'll go ahead and get started.
Wait. Before you start, I want to say my cousin Audrey, she's going on a trip to Australia. Be careful out there. Not that it's a bad place, but you're a long way from home.
Be careful, Audrey. Hey, Michelle, thank you so much. That's my cousin. So anyway, our topic today is Black and missing. What's happening to our people? Now, lately, as I scroll up and down my Facebook timeline, I have seen a plethora of posts talking about missing Black people. Now, admittedly, I have seen more posts talking about missing Black women and girls. In fact, I read an article that said roughly 64,000 Black women and girls have been reported missing nationwide since 2014. Now, but the truth of the matter is Black boys and Black men are missing too. Unfortunately, all I can find on Black men and Black boys missing was them being missing due to death or being incarcerated. So I really couldn't find a whole lot of numbers and statistics that says this is how many Black men and boys are missing. Although I have heard that it's probably just as many Black boys and men missing as there are Black women and girls, right? Okay. All right, now, so I never did find a direct answer. A report that was done in 2014 by the FBI's National Crime Information Center said Black Americans accounted for roughly 226,000 of missing persons reported in 2012. Out of all the missing persons, Black people make up about 34% of the people that's missing. Now, that's a lot. Now, keeping in mind that we make up about 13 to 14% of the population. In 2013, 37% of Black people that were missing are minors and 27% are adults, or were adults. I guess are or were, depending on how you look at it. Only 1/5 of the cases are covered on the national news of Black people. So we don't get a lot of coverage for a whole host of reasons. It is said that many who are reported missing, many of the Black people who are reported missing are dismissed as runaways or missing due to their own accord, like they just took off, hey.
Or they don't want to be found.
Yeah, I'm not telling anybody I'm leaving, right. I'm just out of here, right? Now, missing white woman syndrome is known as one of the reasons that the plight of missing Black women and girls do not get national news attention it deserves. Basically, more attention is paid to the missing white women than anyone else. You guys heard of Lacey Peterson and Chandra Levy and all these other white women, Natalie Holloway's. You've seen the coverage on every news channel. Right. Nancy Grace, everybody covered these white women, but you don't hear a lot about Black. You get like a little bleep
Right.
You know, or a little blip rather of this black person is missing. Okay, keep an eye out. Next, you know, like seriously. So why? It's because their people, they being the white women, own the means of media.
Okay.
They own a lot of media, so they're going to talk about their things. Now, sex trafficking. It is reported by the FBI that 40% of victims that are sex trafficked are African Americans. Black women and girls are sex trafficked more than anyone else. And it is said that most of the kidnappers of American sex trafficked victims are black men. Now, I don't know how true that is. It's just what I read. So I'll repeat that again, that most of the kidnappers are black men that kidnap people into or snatch people into the sex trafficking trade.
Oh, so it's like a Harriet thing.
That's just what I read. I don't know how true it is. So, you know, don't quote me. It's just what I read, right? Now, and the buyers of sex trafficking services are affluent, married, educated, what?
White men.
White men.
Wow,
Right?
Robert Kraft, NFL owner, all these people who have...
Because they have the money,
Right.
they have the means, right? Now, sex trafficking is estimated to be a $290 million a year industry, and that the pimps take home anywhere from $5,000 to $32,000 per week. Okay, that's a lot of money. Don't get no ideas, okay? Now, with that being said, one can see why people are being snatched in traffic at such alarming rates. Now, it is a very lucrative industry, to say the least. I think it needs needs to have light shed on it, where I think it also sheds a lot of light on why and where is what I'm trying to say. Can't read my own writing. Black women and girls are missing, right? Because there's a lot of money in the industry. We need product. The product is the bodies, and so we snatched them up.
Yeah, one thing that's always going to sell.
Unfortunately. And don't get it twisted. Black men and black boys get snatched up into the sex trafficking industry too, okay? Now, the other theory is that black people are missing at alarming rates due to organ harvesting. Now, that's when people are kidnapped and have their organs removed to save the life of people who can't afford to pay for the organs on the black market, but for whatever reason can't get...
Or they're on a list that's almost impossible
so they
for them to
can't
get
get
to
it
the
on
top.
legal means because the list is too long or whatever.
And
Maybe
they
they're
got so much
a
time.
drunk and they, you know, don't normally give livers out to people who have drinking issues, and so they got money. I need a liver.
Right.
Go snatch one off the street for me. Okay. Now I'm still researching that angle, so I don't have a lot of information on the organ harvesting. So for now, let's come up with ways of stopping our people from being snatched up wholesale. And I will get to you guys' comments. So Donovan, you have anything to add to that?
Well, you know, somebody had told me about how they do not agree with the fact that black women aren't protected, right? And so I had to tell them, I said, wait a minute. You know, they were holding men accountable, which they should. Black men should be held accountable. I'm wholeheartedly for that.
Mm-hmm.
However, she wasn't looking at the fact that I can't protect a woman that doesn't want to be protected or follow my direction. And I used the example of that nail salon of that brother that knocked in the nail salon, and the next day they were in there getting their nails in. This guy caught a case trying to protect black women. It's like, you know what? If you don't want to
let me
protect
ask you this before I get to these comments. Do you think that so he's talking about the woman with the owner of, and it's been a lot of them, but this particular one, the owner beat her up or something, and the brothers was out there boycotting, trying to
No, I'm talking about that Muhammad guy from Chicago. That
see, I'm thinking of another one.
yeah, see, he threw the brick.
Right, so he's talking about the brother Tyrone Muhammad. He threw the brick through the window. I think it's in Chicago. And then the women were still went back into the shop with the shop boarding up and everything. And, you know, they didn't care that this man was trying to fight for him. So, but let me ask you this. Do you think those women are the exception? Or do you think they're like the majority of black women?
I think it's the majority now.
Really?
Yes, because... and the reason,
What say you guys?
and the reason I say that is because black women have bought into the narrative, I don't need no man to tell me this and tell me that. And, again... they say, oh, well, look at Hillary, and, you know, we're the backbone of the Democratic Party. We're this and we're that. They bought into that stuff, which is fine. You know, you can do whatever you want to do. But 70% of white women are married. 70% of y'all ain't.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys, do you guys agree with Donovan that the majority of black women do not want to be protected per se? And Tay says, hey, D&D. She says, your fro is gorgeous. Thank you so much. And hello to everybody on there. Nancy, I saw that. Say Indian Summer. And Arson, what's up? And let's see. I I got some of those comments. And Michelle says, yes, I have been seeing and hearing about African American females missing lately. Social media plays a big part. They trust who's online absolutely too much. And that's another thing, too.
Did you hear that article, that 15-year-old girl? She
I've
got chopped up or something, meeting somebody online or something.
I've seen quite a few. And Michelle, you make a good point that a lot of people do, or they are too trusting with meeting people online. And to your point, Donovan, I have seen a lot of articles where women and even men have gotten set up. They've gone to meet somebody online, and then it turns out that they end up getting murdered or they're missing. And even men go meet a woman online, and she and her
boyfriend and
set them up
yeah.
and all of that. And so yes, online, social media, we got to be very careful because you don't know who's on the other side of the keyboard. And Tay says, wow, that's a lot of missing black people with little to no news coverage. What a damn shame that Keisha doesn't matter as much as Karen. And it's just the truth. Mm-hmm. But we know, as Dr. Claude Anderson talks about a lot, because black people own less than 3% of the media, we don't own a lot of outlets to talk about that all the time.
And Byron Allen's trying to change that.
Byron Allen is trying to change that, and we can change that. And I would say, admittedly, like I said, on my timeline, I have seen a lot of people highlight the missing all over the country. So those of us who have social media outlets, we should be using that to highlight the missing in our community, opposed to a lot of the other nonsense we talk about on a regular basis. But owning the media is definitely going to help us, because we can talk about our stories and our missing more. I was doing some research on this yesterday, and I saw quite a few stories of black people. Like one lady, her daughter's been missing for 10 years. She was at a party, just came up missing, and they just dismissed it as a runaway. And she's like, there's no way my daughter ran away and did not come back or say hey or anything like that for 10 years. My daughter is gone under mysterious and foul play circumstances, but they're like, whatever. And so Al says, speaking of missing, is it safe to say that a black wedding reception, the gift table looks a lot like a lost and found? You stupid. No, that's... Anyway, Nancy, he says, true. 2 years ago, I put an African-American female, 20, from Las Vegas, put her on a Greyhound. Some Arab guys put her in a hotel on University to have sex with them, sent her home. Yes, and that's a lot of it, too, with the sex trafficking industry. A friend of mine said that a lady came to their church, and she was in the sex trafficking industry, came to their church and gave them the rundown. And she says, one thing to look for, if somebody comes up to you and says, hey, what time is it? She says, run, because you're probably going to be sex trafficked, because in today's day and age, everybody has a phone, a watch or something. Yeah. So to have somebody ask you what time it is.
That's the thing, to see if you're susceptible to being approached. Or
if you're just caught off guard, which a lot of us probably would be. Somebody said, hey, what time is it? Always, you're gone, But how many of us are doing this all the time when we're walking? We're out in public, we're scrolling, and I see people all the time. It's like, gosh, you could be walking into a van.
I constantly tell my nephews and my nieces when they were younger, whatever those, you've got to be aware of your situational awareness around you. You can't be walking.
A lot of people aren't anymore. They're just oblivious to everything that's going around. Hey, Charlie, and he says Donovan is right. So he agrees with you that you agree that most black women don't want to be protected. Okay, and Arthur
ain't no man gonna tell me what to do. I don't need no man.
Arthur says 34% of black people are missing people are black. Now, lack of coverage would not be as big as an issue if we managed to own at least one single television station, right? Several people tried, didn't they? So what? Oprah has one. I don't know what she does.
But Oprah ain't doing nothing for no black people.
I mean, I don't know, because I don't have TV, so I don't know.
Let me give you a history lesson real quick for everybody. A lot of us are too young to remember this, but, my grandfather's still alive. There's some of us that are still around. At one time, the second oldest media outlet, black outlet, was right here in San Bernardino.
Yeah.
Do you guys realize, during World War II, before that, FDR would talk to the white networks and the news and stuff like that. Then he would talk to the black networks. Mm-hmm. I mean, there was all kinds of media that, black people, we didn't go and we didn't read the white newspaper. We read the black newspaper.
Right.
And of course, as time goes on, so we've sold out.
Right. Sold out, bought in, if you will. But yes, there are several black networks, but I don't know what they do. I mean, so I can't say that they don't do it, but it'd be nice if we did it more often. 64,000 missing people, black women and girls is a lot of people missing. Okay. Hey, Dee Dee. And Charlie says a black woman will say so quick. I don't need no man, and especially no broke nigga.
Mm-hmm. Knowing she ain't got no money in her pocket, her damn self. Look, we both on the bus stop.
Okay.
What you talking about?
Phil, it says, I agree with him. You can't tell a woman nothing but a compliment.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But even giving him a compliment. I was at the dollar store today, and the woman gave me the change, and I noticed her nails. And I said, I really like your nails.
Okay, but let me just say this. Because I don't want us to get distracted. that even if... Because I personally don't believe most black women don't want to be protected. I don't believe that.
Of course, because you're a woman.
No, because I don't believe that's true.
Take it from a man's perspective.
I would say, well, I'm a black woman, and I want to be protected. All the black women I know, I've never heard them say, I don't need no man and look out for... I've never heard no black woman that I personally know say that. But
well, Dee, when you're in a meeting of dead presidents.
But I want to say this though, because I don't want it. I don't want it to get
distracted.
I don't want it to go somewhere it's not supposed to go. Okay. Even if black women, the majority of black women say, I don't want a man to protect me, that does not give credence to 64,000 black missing women and girls. Right. That is not a good reason for them to be missing.
Well,
and so
let's go on the flip side of that.
Mm-hmm.
Another reason why a lot of these women are missing is because these men have incarcerated themselves and have walked away from their responsibilities of protecting these women like they're supposed to.
Right, and I think that is a lot of stuff going on, and that could be one of it.
That's a small part of it.
And there's an industry for it. Now, if the statistics are true or the information I read saying that black men are the main ones that are snatching these women, I mean, how can you be protected if that's what's going on? I don't know how true that is, because I tend to, when I hear stuff like that, I like to dig a little bit more deeper. And Dee Dee says some of these ads for sex trafficking is on Craigslist and Facebook, etc. Yes. And then
Facebook, no, go to Twitter. My God.
But like when you see these things, doesn't your antennas go up like, okay, these people want me to come meet them somewhere at this warehouse? For me, I'd be like, I don't think so. That sounds real sketchy.
We were talking on Friday, the Free Throw Friday, about like this book called Pimp by Iceberg Slim. Mm-hmm. He's the guy that wrote the Bible of pimping, right? Now, the key to pimping, I read the book. The key to pimping is control a woman's mind. You don't need physical violence to do that or put them on drugs. That's a weak type person.
Right.
Now, I've been to Vegas several times. You'll see the girls late at night walking, and you'll see the guy. It goes back to what she was kind of saying in that aspect of, it shouldn't come down to that. But these guys that do this trafficking, they're doing it totally wrong.
Well, and they're
giving the game a black eye.
Right. Well, the thing is this, though. Because of the women that you see on the boulevard in Vegas and all that, they are probably already in the sex trafficking industry. A lot of those women have been, as my friend was telling me, the information she got, is a lot of times these women get snatched off the street or wherever they are, and they're drugged for days and days and days and raped, and by the time they come out, and they say men too,
Stockholm syndrome.
The same thing, it was not Stockholm syndrome. A lot of times they're hooked on these drugs, and then they do tell them stuff like, I'm going to kill your family, this, that, and the other, get out there, and blah, blah, blah. And a lot of them are they're hooked.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of aspects to it, and so Shantae says, we want a man, we just want the right man to lead us.
I find that hard to believe, but okay.
I mean, I'm a black woman, Tay's a black woman, and she's telling you that she wants a man to protect. Like, I can't think of...
Tay's got to!
But I'm saying, like y'all saying that most black women don't want protection, that's a lie. I can't think of one black woman I know say, I don't need no man to protect me.
I'm just saying the way the culture is today, if even if it's my own spouse, I say, woman, go get me a sandwich or whatever after working, right? I'm working in the yard, whatever. And you just direct her to do something for you. Nigga, don't talk to me that way.
Okay, well, let me tell you something, Donovan. Mm-hmm. You can't tell no woman gonna make me a sandwich.
No, I didn't mean in that aspect. I'm talking about
yes, dear. I'll make you a sandwich, all right.
No, but you know what I mean? They don't want to take direction. You can't tell them anything within...
What do I always say?
What? It's delivery.
Delivery. It's about delivery.
Ike Turner had a great delivery system.
I'm gonna tell you this: if you want help of a man, you wouldn't have to ask. The sandwich already be there. Now
Unfortunately,
meditate on that.
A lot of women can't cook.
Meditate on that. And Dee says, not all black women say they don't need a man. Black women want a man to meet us halfway.
Okay, but see, what you guys keep forgetting is this. And my nephew has a problem with it, and I kind of have a problem with it too. Because I say this: you can't be a modern woman and a lady at the same time. You want me to open the door for you, right? You want me to do that.
I got it. Okay.
But yet at the same time, you can't do the things that I want. You know what I mean? You can't be both. Either you're a lady or you're a modern woman.
So you're saying more like a feminist, or,
right.
Or a traditional
right?
woman,
Because
if you will.
because my nephew would do something. Let's say he's going on a little date, whatever, and he's a little cute little guy. He goes on this little date. I tell him we'll do this, do that for her. The girl's like, no, I don't want you to. I can open my own door. You know what I mean? It's.
Well,
times we live in.
He needs to keep moving until he finds a woman who do want to do all that.
But what I'm saying is, you guys keep
settle.
Yeah, but you guys keep denying the fact.
It ain't all of us though, brother.
No.
Don't believe the hype.
You can never say all, but
right.
but what we can say is these young girls are being taught to be self-sufficient within themselves. That's what I'm saying.
Right. And Archer says, I believe many women are the way Donovan describes it, but really there must be several women out there who don't want that. Unfortunately, bad news just travels faster and further than positive news. Absolutely. And Huey, what's happening says, don't you have a YouTube I can watch? Yes, we do. The Demetra K channel and Donovan Sadiq channel. Right. We both have YouTube channels. Yes. And Tay says, we as women, we also need to be aware of who we allow in our lives. We need to trust our gut versus opening our homes, legs, and lives to any man that shows an ounce of attention. Absolutely, because we see that happens a lot. With inviting anybody in, and unfortunately something happens to the kids and things like that. So no, absolutely, we got to be vigilant. And let's see here. And Al says, out here, a black lady came up missing. Let me read his joke. Oh my God. He says, out here, a lady came up missing after she tried to sue Delta Airlines for misplacing her luggage. Sad to say she lost her case. Dee says, fast money moves most women $10,000 a week. I mean, and on the flip side of that, the victims of sex trafficking, because I want to always refer to them as victims. Victims, yes. They bring in a lot of money, but a lot of times they don't keep that money. Yes, you know, the same woman that my friend was referring said that she had went out to Freaknik. Back in the day when Freaknik was popping. She went out to Freaknik, her and her friend, they didn't have any money. I think they came from California to Atlanta. And so they had an idea to put on their bathing suit, jump on top of some car, and start dancing. And so she says, no sooner than they realized, a man came up to him and just dropped $800 on the hood. And, like, oh my God, didn't ask him to do nothing or any of that kind of stuff. He actually gave them a pager and say, hey, I want to keep in contact with you guys. So when I beep, call me back or whatever, pagers. And so a couple days later, said the man, beeped him and they called and he says, you guys want to make some money, told him where to meet up and things like that. And
naivety kicked in.
Well, at first, the guy told them the deal, hey, this is what we're doing. We're sex trafficking, for lack of better words, people. So we need you guys, you two ladies or girls, to be the lure, to lure other women and girls. And so we'll give you some money. And so she said she was doing that for like a year or so. And then eventually the guy and his homie says, now it's your turn to get out there. And so she's like, no, I'm not getting out there. I'm not doing it. And they did the same thing to her that they did to all the other girls, drugged them up, raped them, and then put them out there on the straw. And she was out there for like 20-something years.
Right, but see, what goes around comes around. She put girls in a victim situation.
Right, well, she was thinking it wasn't going to be her. I'm on this side, And Tay says, Donovan, you have to talk to your woman, not at her. So talk to her and not at her.
Hey, the Book of Ike has guided me
correctly. Get me a sandwich.
That's right. Wait, what the problem is?
Hot grits. You want some hot grits? Not in you, but on you.
Yeah. In a nice bowl, not in my face.
All right. And Romel says a woman is a man with a womb, so a man/woman can lead. So he's saying both can lead.
Disagree.
Tell Donovan how my mom refused to protection the other night. So he says his mom, the door rang.
Wait. Your mother's a Southern woman?
Yeah.
I get it.
The door rang and she was like, he says, Mom, let me get it. And she was like, no, I got it, So they had a big round and round and he finally had to tell her, You're up there in age
Yeah.
now. You can't just be opening the door.
Hey,
you know,
I had
at
the
night.
same. I had the same problem with my mom. She just thinks she's a superwoman.
And Tay says, "Oh yes, you can. I can be a modern woman and still allow a man to be a man."
True, but the majority of these young girls don't do that. They don't know how to do that because they weren't taught that.
Right. Well, again, I'm still saying that I don't believe that most black women are refusing the protection of men. I'm sorry. Now, let me say this. Maybe it's most black women you have met and most black women some of you guys have met, but I don't think the majority of black women are out there saying, nah, I'm good. I'm going to just walk down this alley by myself.
D, what did I tell you? The first thing you do in the morning, I don't care where you're working, anybody that's watching this show, if you get to work early, I want you to sit in the parking lot or sit in front of the building and watch employees come in, especially the black women. You will see them look at their fist. They will come in 7 in the morning.
But what does that got to do with the price of tea in China? You don't know what that woman's problem is.
No, but what I'm
she might have had a man talk about make me a sandwich.
That's true. But what I'm saying is you're going to find a majority of them have an attitude. I walked by a girl this morning. Wait. I walked by a girl this morning getting breakfast, and just what? Hey, good morning.
The majority of black women you run into.
No, but what I'm saying is they're being taught to not be responsive to leadership.
Brother, that ain't got nothing to do with these women being snatched up wholesale.
Yes, it does. Their attitudes.
How?
Their attitudes.
So a woman's bad attitude is indicative of her being snatched up on the street.
Yes, I'll give you a better example right now. Like somebody mentioned back pages or whatever, and there was a story that they did about these women that why did they get in? Okay, you're on Section 8, you're getting your hair and nails done, and all. Rent is due.
I gotta drink me some water on this one because I'm gonna eat his lunch.
Rent is due. A lot of these girls are out there. They would rather go out there and do a trick because it's easier than going to get a job or doing. This is actually happening.
That's not all black women. That's not even a majority. Okay, that ain't even a majority of black women.
Saying all. What I'm saying is this is what they are dealing with and raising in an environment.
Still not a good reason for a woman to be snatched up and to have 64,000 black women and girls missing.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Ham says, I had to log on my computer for this one. Laugh out loud. And Dee says, well, men forgot their places as men to properly court us.
Wrong. I have to disagree. But go ahead.
Okay.
Not all of us.
Our Arson says, replying to Dee forgot our place. Yes, Dee cue him in.
See, that's the thing. We keep talking about places and this, that.
But now y'all want us to have our place.
Wait. My understanding is the man is the leader. That's my understanding. But I guess you're going to get a bunch of feminists out here talking about, nah, a woman can lead too. No, that's bullshit.
But a woman can lead
too. She can. And in my household or wherever, she can lead other women. She can't lead men.
I'm going to be quiet because you left the door open for me to say something.
That's fine. She can't lead no men. I'm sorry.
Al says, didn't Salt-N-Pepa have a song called Waterman? No, it was Waterman.
What a man.
April, it says the top. Okay, so she's putting up the topic. It says the topic is black and missing. Men and women want to listen to each other. Mm-hmm. Also, if you guys are listening to on the watch parties, please come on this side so I can see your comments. And Romel says courting. Who does that anymore? Laugh out loud. Ha ha ha. What it should be. And Pam says laugh out loud. Book of Ike. He wilding. Okay.
Book of Ike.
And Dee says at Arson, yes, some men come with the wrong intention. Getting to know one another should come first. Absolutely.
Right. Okay. Now there are shows out there called Paternity Courts and all these little shows that are out there. I saw the what's that one court show, that new one that you talked about?
Personal injury court.
Oh my God, craziness. But anyway, Paternity Court. You're seeing where these women are, and I got to give the judge. She's very fair about it. She was telling how these women play these games with these men. Like I said, it doesn't antiquate them getting snatched up.
I was about to say
it doesn't antiquate that. But what I'm saying is we have a generation of young girls that were raised in the 70s and beyond that took the woman out of the home and said, you don't need a man.
Right. Well.
And that's a part of the problem.
It's a part of the problem, but as I always say, where there's a single mama, there's a what?
An absent father.
An absentee father.
Yes.
And April says in New York, almost 120,000 black men between the ages of 25 and 54 are missing from everyday life in Chicago. 45 are, and more than 30 are missing in Philadelphia. And so I think, now correct me if I'm wrong, that particular information you have, when it says, because when I saw the information, it says missing in quotation, missing mean that the black men are either incarcerated or dead or just not there, not missing like they're snatched. So is that the information you're saying? And Pamela says majority of women do not have men in the home to show them how to it can work.
Yeah.
Some do, but it's good to be able to be better when shared. So it's better when the responsibility is shared.
I agree with that, and I'm going to piggyback on that real quick, because if you look at other cultures, let's say in the white culture and the Hispanic culture, the woman is taught to not be secondary, but she's taught her role in the family structure to be the nurturer and things of that nature. So that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of black women who knew and know their role. My mom was one of them. You know, and a lot of times people have a problem with the role. Right. But I was also taught that. I watched my mom and my father, you know, have a conducive household. My father went to work in his business, earned the money, brought it home. My mom was a housemaker, a homemaker, if you will, raised us, made sure we were educated and the whole nine. And so I was taught that. My daughter is taught that. So well, my daughter's single, but best believe when she does get into a relationship, she's going to know how to participate conducively in a relationship. But just to say a majority of black women, I think that's a lot bit on the stereotypical side.
No, I'm going to say majority of black women because of the statistics. 70% of black women are not married. I know you say you're going with that. The point is, what I'm saying, the numbers do not lie. They just don't.
But again,
so we're looking majority above 50, right?
But I'm trying to help me out, y'all. What does that got to do with these women being missing?
A part of that is, if you don't know, like as a man, if I tell you, hey, sweetheart, that guy's no good for you, don't go down there with your girlfriends, and you don't want to listen and you get snatched up, that's what we're talking about. They don't know not to take direction.
But do we say that same thing about white women that are missing?
Yes.
They don't know how to take direction.
Yes, those are the ones
that... I thought you just said that white women learn how to know they
The majority of them do. But you got those wild ones that be out there.
Okay, I'm going to tell you this. Every last brother I know that was married to a white woman would beg to differ. Okay? Anyway, Didi says, at Romel, courting or getting to know us properly. And Shantae says, Donovan, where are you meeting these women? I am deeply concerned. That's what I'm saying. So is it the women you're meeting, or is it the majority of black women out there?
I just think, okay, outside of our generation, I know you're only 28, D, and Shantae's only 21. But, you know, in my group, we're the last group to get that old school teaching. Like I said, you know how to do it, whatever. But unfortunately, there's been a whole generation from the 70s on forward that have been taught a different nomenclature of how to be a woman. And a lot of it is, you don't need no man.
Okay.
I'm going to go out here and do what I got to do. I don't have to listen to anybody. Thus, the numbers went up.
All right, y'all.
Okay,
watch the master at work.
Go ahead.
You got your catcher's mitt?
Hold up. Go ahead.
You got your catcher's mitt.
Bare hand.
Now, you didn't explain why partially some of all these black women and girls get snatched up.
Yes.
Now, I want you to explain why it is said that the majority of people doing the snatching is black men.
Because socioeconomic necessity puts us in a position to where we do that. Wait, let me finish.
I ain't said a word.
But you're about to say something. I was about to do my Ike Turner pimp hand down. Socioeconomically, we rob from each other, look at our neighborhoods, whatever. We sell drugs to each other, whatever. I'm not saying neither here nor there. It's a socioeconomic situation. So if I've got a nice potential moneymaker here, right, I'm going to take advantage of that. Why is it that a majority of women in the neighborhood, these young girls in the neighborhood, have babies by the same guy that's in prison?
Did y'all just hear this mess?
It's a social economic situation. That's why.
Okay, because on one hand, I'm going to get to these comments. On one hand, black women don't want to be, most of us don't want to be protected, blah, blah, blah. But on the other hand, black men snatching us up.
Yes.
So who's supposed to do the protecting if y'all doing the snatching?
See, you keep missing what I'm saying. No, it keeps going over your head. We're the last generation. There's been a new generation. Look at the numbers. From the 70s, when the father was taken out of the home, the numbers went skyrocketing. And it's still that way today.
I think the Achilles heel for most women not having a man is they talk entirely too much. I just never heard of a quiet woman coming up missing.
Man's a genius.
It's stupid.
Man's a
And Brandy
genius.
says, you bugging. How do you know a woman is on Section 8?
Wait, what she said?
How do you know a woman is on Section 8?
Wait, I don't understand the question.
How do you know? Because you said something about women being on Section 8 and all that. So she's saying, how do you know that she's on Section 8? Or any woman for that matter.
Wait, I don't.
She's just going off of what you
Yeah.
said. Okay? And then, Jonelle, what's happening? We got some sense up in here.
You gotta look at the numbers.
Says,
Look at the numbers.
Had a friend whose father and mother worked, but his funds took care of the house. Hers went to retirement.
There you go.
All right.
There you go.
And then Dee says, Donovan, your horns are showing. Pamela says, look at what these girls are being taught. They grow up too early.
Yes,
Yes, they do.
That's what I'm saying. Look at the numbers from the time that the father was removed from the home in the 70s to now. These kids are on something totally different than what we were raised on.
I'm not saying that the...
Quick money, go ahead and steal, that's okay. You know,
But
do
that's
whatever.
not all black people. That
No,
does not...
I didn't say all black.
Okay, but even if it's half of... I don't even think it's half of black people that are doing that to indicate that's why black girls and women are missing, because y'all hard-headed.
Right.
In addition to, you have what they say, the majority of the snatchers are black men that are doing this. Again, you can't hold the woman accountable and not hold the man accountable too.
I'm not holding the woman accountable by herself, because what did I just say? These men are just as culpable in the situation, because now that mommy raised me without my father, and like you said, absentee fathers aren't around to raise these men to be men. I tell my nephew all the time, you don't move in, or my sons, you don't move in with no woman. She moves in with you. But look at the situation now. You'll see a majority of young men who ain't shit. They're living with their girlfriends or whatever the situation is. It's what I'm saying is that it's a generational thing that has changed the thing, and it's both parties are culpable.
So Al says women wouldn't come up missing if they had a man around to protect them, but she probably pushed him away. See, you know.
Yes, brother. Yes.
I just wish that people. Because, see, I listen to Malcolm X's stuff quite a bit. And I really do wish that people would really just start to listen to those things, because even he said nearly 60 years ago that black women are the most unprotected, most disrespected women on the planet. And it is a little bit, I'm just going to be transparent with you guys before I get you guys' comments. It is very discouraging, and I get it. I get it. It's very discouraging to hear black men talk about how black women don't want a man, or black women don't, push men away in terms that it's all, or the majority of black women, when we know that is false. It is not majority of black women. And so you guys, instead of coming up with solutions, you want to continue to say, oh, well, black women and children are getting snatched up wholesale because they won't listen. That's not why they're getting, it might be a little bit.
So why are they getting snatched up here?
Well, I'm going to get to that after I get to these comments. But to try to throw a curveball and blame, because see, that's what you guys are doing, is blaming the victim. Now, as I sit and I watch these interviews of people, moms and dads, who are lamenting over their children.
Go ahead, keep going.
Wait, that ain't got nothing to do with it. Over these, lamenting over their children being missing. I never once heard them say, oh, it's because I was hard-headed, or because the girls were hard-headed. They're wanting their kids and their daughters and their sons to come back home. So anyway, Charlie says the system say to the black woman, we will help you when you get rid of the man. The system locks up the man, and if you're poor, can't get bail, so the system is against black people. So yes, we know the system has a lot to do with that, but I always ask this question, I just do, what black woman in her right mind is going to give up a black man with a decent job for Section 8 housing, food stamps, and a little bit of money? What woman in her right mind?
A black woman that doesn't know any better.
I'm sorry.
That's my answer.
I'm just speaking for myself. I'm not putting my black man out the house if he's making way more money than the system is going to give me. Okay? So, but yes, we know it's systemic. We do know that. And Arson says, I'm Haitian, and traditionally, yes, The women have their defined roles, but by the way, mixing black women being hard-headed to them coming up missing is just a bit of a stretch. Donovan, come on. Let's see. Donovan, come on. But if you happen to be right for some reason, some of them, I gotta say, we got way more work to do than I thought. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Just to say that, you know, if they would listen more, I think that's a false equivalency of why these women are missing. And Phil says, we are not talking about white women. 70% is proof, and we need to rethink. Oops. We need to rethink what we do. P.S. Chinese rob Chinese, Indians rob
Indians.
True.
Very
right.
true.
Okay.
Very true.
I know we are not talking about white women. We are talking about black women. But to say that these black women are missing due to them being hard-headed, I think that's kind of that.
If I told you as a father not to go mess with Ray Ray down the street because he's a drug dealer and you do it
but anyway. Are you telling Ray not to be a drug dealer, though?
That's not my son to tell him that.
I mean, but I'm saying...
But I will tell him you come into my yard.
Ray Daddy telling him that.
Because see, y'all...
But see, y'all... See, you cannot put the onus on women and not put some of the responsibility on the men.
I want to see what the solution is.
Because Ray Daddy ain't there.
Right, but I want to see the solution.
I got the solution. Okay, and then Dee Dee said, that's neither here or there, Donovan. You are contradicting yourself. And Al says, keep your weave and wig on, ladies. The mugger will snatch that fake shit and you can break and run. Coming up, Mrs. Shut Up. And Tay says, I am sad that black women are being torn down as stereotyped. But you know what? That's part of the problem right there. And let me write that down so I don't forget. Because that's actually part of my problem/solution.
Write down black men being stereotyped and torn down.
Nah, nobody tearing y'all down. And Brandy says, yes, right, no woman. And Al says, black women don't come up missing because the kidnappers know their families have no ransom money. You know what? Pamela says, black people lack a conscience. Yeah. Absolutely. And Charlie says, black people are more easy to be persuaded by money because of personal, I think, situations.
Yes, financial situations.
I don't see any more comments here, but I will say this. So, a lot of us, I would say, are coming up missing because...
You're going to be missing
after
this show.
I'm going to get Jonelle's comment.
You're going to be missing after this show.
I'm going to be missing because I'm going to sweat to death. And Jonelle says, black women should feel secure around black men, and there's a difference between black man and niggas. Niggas will only invest in their self-destruction as far as women are concerned. To quote the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, you can't protect what you can't control. Our black woman is the most unprotected woman on the planet, and we both, male and female, need self-love and awareness. Our self-destruction makes us all a prey in the midst of enemies, all manner of predators. Right.
Yes.
So
I agree.
Agreed.
Wholeheartedly.
If black women are at risk, so is black men.
Yes.
You know. But it is true. We are the most. And let me see this. Did I see another comment? And so I will say this. I think it's easy for black women to be, and girls especially, to be targeted because the sentiment about black women is, you know, there's a lot of negativity about us. Just taking your example, they hard-headed, they don't listen. Hell, you go on social media any given time, you see, you know, black men tearing down black women. I mean, there's a lot of people, especially a lot of social media personalities who get paid a lot of money to talk bad about black women. Yes. You know, and so also, you know, people who are doing the snatching, they know that there's not going to be a big emergency outcry over black women.
Absolutely.
Yeah, socioeconomics play a lot of that into that. Fathers and moms not being good parents play a lot into that. But overall, there's not going to be a big old, you know, cry about,
hula.
Yeah, you know, somebody's, you know, black daughter is missing. Somebody's black mama is missing.
Well, what's that? Mitrice Richardson, she went missing. That wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's still not a big deal. And they still don't know. They
killed
have
her.
a lot of clues, but nobody's really picking up on that kind of stuff. You know, and so it is a known fact that black women are not respected or protected by anybody. And I'll go back to Jim DeRogatis, the guy, and I don't want to get into a whole discussion on R. Kelly, but he was the guy, the reporter, that was investigating R. Kelly, and he said, as a white man, he says, after all my investigation, he says, I have discovered that the most disrespected and unprotected person on the planet is the black woman. He says, because had I been writing about white girls, he said this would have been open and shut
Yes.
a long time ago. But he says, I can't even get people to care or to pay attention to what I'm saying is going on with these black girls. And so he said in his investigation that tended to be the case, that nobody cares about black girls and black women.
Well, remember when the R. Kelly case was going on in the 90s, when the initial case happened? What were some of his staunchest defenders were women. I don't care what R. Kelly did. His music's good. I mean, that's some of the dumbest reasons.
But it wasn't just women. It was everybody who was defending R. Kelly.
Right.
You know.
Right. But what I'm saying is, it's sad when women. I don't care what he did.
But at the end of the day, like you take the brother Tyrone Muhammad in Chicago that busted the windows. You don't think that man went in there knowing full well that some black women was gonna be back up in there? But he said, you know what? Forget it. He even said, I'm tired of black women being disrespected. This man took a case and a hit. Now, did all the black women go back? Probably not. Did some? Yes. I'm not saying all black women are above reproach and got our heads screwed on tight. But he went in there knowing that if I don't stand up for black women, nobody is going to do that. No longer am I going to allow these people to set up in our community, take our money, and abuse our women on my watch. And so if we had more men stand up, and black men stand up and do those things for black women and girls, I think we would have a lot less women and girls coming up missing and a whole host of other tragedies that happen to black women and girls. Since you made it an issue. So anyway, Al says, eat unhealthy and get fat so the thug won't be able to lift you when you're hurt. You know what, Al? Grow up. And Pep says, speak on it. And Dee Dee says, black men are the fathers of the community. Donovan needs to tell Ray Ray what's up. Even if Ray Ray don't have a father in the home, black men needs to get back to raising a community of black men coming up. And she's right.
Okay, wait a minute. I have to address that.
Okay.
Now, on the show, when I talk, I'm talking in general of what the average black man would say.
Right.
Okay. In my community, even though me and Dee, we play yin and yang to make the show kind of
salt and pepper, vinegar, oil and water.
Right. Yeah, salty chips and Ike and Tina. That's what we play. In my community, I am known as the guy that will go to these young men and tell them what's up.
I will say that is true for Donovan. I don't know what he on today, but that is true for Donovan. And let's see here. And Tay says, people supporting R. Kelly is a moral and values issue. When we value a beat over the welfare of our daughters, that is a problem that needs to be addressed. Absolutely. But to that point, that's what the investigative reporter was saying. I found that black women and girls are not cared about at all.
At all.
Like the things that he was, accused of doing, people should be upset about this stuff. And people are like, well, shoot.
His music is God, I don't care.
I can't be mad at that.
And then wait, and then some of the girls in the current situation, you have parents that took their child down there to meet the man after the allegation. The guy had just got done beating the case.
Let me say this, okay? Hypothetically speaking, what would have happened? Because I know there's a lot of men who knew about R. Kelly, okay? What would have happened if one of those men would have beat his ass?
Oh, yeah, everybody would have been in.
But I'm saying if they'd have beat his ass a long time ago and said, not on our watch, you touch one of these girls again and you're going to have more problems than you have now, it might have stopped. Now, I'm not saying it's you guys' fault, but what I'm saying is, while we are saying that all the girls was, crazy over R. Kelly and this, that, and the other, well, there's a lot of men who knew what he was doing, too, and nobody thought to put a foot to his ass, And then Marcus says, the fact that black men are the ones selling black women, it itself shows how the black man is failing the black family. We don't look at the harsh reality of how white men treat black women. The harsh reality of how white men treat black women and children, because they know that at the end of the day, there will be no retaliation for the mass majority of black men from you guys. And that is just a fact.
Right.
That is a fact.
Public service announcement real quick.
Sure.
For those of you guys that are on Facebook jail or whatever, you can still IM message into the show if you want to. Donald Ray Malloy, my brother, he says, be advised.
Oh, is he in Facebook jail?
Yeah, I'm watching Donald
God.
again. I'm in jail. So he can't respond.
Man.
But you can go ahead and IM in
Ask him, do he need some money on his books?
Yeah, you need some money on your books. No, then he'll be asking me.
You need some money on your books. And Tate says, I remember my granddaddy and great granddaddy would always stop and talk to the young black men when they walk the block. And you know what? That is true for my dad. This man, I don't care where we go. He gonna talk to everybody. What's happening, brother? Hey, sister. He always speaking to people. You know, you got a beautiful smile. You know, so that's what we need more of. And excuse the noise. The neighbors are doing some construction on a Sunday afternoon. And Al says, if you are treated unfairly in a business, don't take yourself back in the business so the black man doesn't come up missing in the system because he tried to protect you. Well, I mean, I think that is admirable for a black man to do. And speaking, you know, and there's a lot of examples of black men protecting black women, but I just like to go back to the more recent one of Tyrone Muhammad, the one that threw the bricks through the windows and caught a case. And he said, I know I'm going to jail, but I want to prove a point to these people, the Asians that are in the neighborhood, that you're not going to keep coming in here brutalizing our women as we as black men walk up and down the neighborhood, and we know it. Like, those men should be deathly afraid to put their hands on
the black woman. Right.
And you guys see the video is trending on Popeyes where a white lady, I guess she went into the establishment, acting stupid, called him a nigga,
and she got dropped.
Yes. Now I guarantee you,
He's somebody, case,
the dude has already caught a case for a body slam, but I guarantee you, her people gonna go in there and raise
the
some
death
hell.
penalty.
I guarantee you. And she was way out of line. Hey, Curtis, what's happening?
You know, let's talk about the guys at the nail salon. The guys did the protest, and the sister came out of line and yelled at you know, I mean, I'm not making excuses.
We got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work
on both
to do.
sides,
yes.
Men and women. I mean, as men, we're damned if we do, we're damned if we don't.
Well, you know, continue to do it because you're doing it for some women. Maybe not those women who are standing in line still after the
curse the guy out. And he's
after
out
the owner, beat up the black woman.
Right.
That ain't all black women. There's some black women who stayed away. You know what I mean? And Didi says, then why in the hell you got crap coming out your mouth? Talk about Ryan will say, I don't know what he on today. And Jonelle says, the Honorable Minister of Archon teaches any man or woman that will engage in self-destruction will easily engage in self-destruction of others. We are lacking self-love, and that's why we are, that's why we are allowing our women, girls, and children and babies to come up missing. Love protects what it loves. See how we fight for Popeye's chicken and all other crazy crap that we love and die for more than self or our women. Self-love and self-empowerment. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's just a fact.
Right. Now, you know, Didi, I'm just going to address Didi real quick. Again, the show, Didi can sit on this show and just espouse her views and stuff like that, but what we try to do is we try to play both angles to get everybody conversating, getting in the conversation.
He tries to get my blood pressure up. That's what he tried to do. So.
But, you know, I do have an opinion. Like I said, everybody knows I'm an Ike Turner follower. I think that this man is instrumental in creating successful black women. The Book of Ike. I just follow. I'm a follower. I'm a believer.
Didi says money drives motive.
It does.
Absolutely.
It does. And unfortunately, this all ties back into, check us out on Fridays, Free for Friday. We talk about this all the time. As the wealth gap gets greater, how many of our black women do you think are going to end up missing more so as they got to go sell ass or whatever they're going to be doing to survive?
And,
13 years, the wealth of the black community is going to be zero.
Zilch. Right. And, you know, and I'm glad you actually made that point because, you know, there are, and I know in LA alone, black women are the most prostituted. I guess I'm trying to find a way to say that, but the rise of black women in prostitution is growing, if you will. The rate of prostitution in black women is growing, and it is said that the most prostitutes in Los Angeles County are black women. And so black women, well, hell, probably men too. Yeah, but to your point, you know, if we don't start practicing group economics, putting our dollars together, spending with each other, and just recycle the money,
getting our businesses together to start buying communities,
it's going to get worse. And it's going to be a lot, like to his point, a lot more of us missing.
And we're not just talking about like snatched up. We're talking about the fastest growing demographic in the prison population are black women.
Right.
For non-violent offenses, prostitution, drugs, and whatever.
Right, and so people are at the end of the day they're not going to starve. They're going to do what they need to do,
right.
And so we need to fix it. Spitting all this, fix it on this end, so that those problems don't get worse. And Al says R. Kelly should have been dealt with long ago.
Yes.
I don't feel sorry for him.
And again, I don't like the put the nomus always on the woman. However, you've got these young boys out there, and you women that are watching the show and listening to the show on the podcast. I know you don't want to agree with it. That's your king and all this other stuff, and you don't want him to do this. You don't want him to do that. However, I have 2 nieces. I feel very sorry for my nieces for the simple fact that some of the guys that are out there that I see that they have to deal with can't do shit.
Well, we got to change that.
Exactly. So the nomus is just on the females. If you're a female and you've got sons, I'll give you a better example. Shantae has 2 very upstanding sons, and they had their fathers and stuff like that. But all in all, Shantae raised them, in her community of her family.
Mm-hmm.
And these boys are very prestigious. They're educated. They're driven. So having the father there or not, that really isn't important as long as you got that positive male role model in some aspect.
Right.
So it's on both sides.
Agreed. And Mildred said there's little accountability and responsibility. Absolutely. And Jonelle says nowadays they're blocking my page and not allowing me to share posts until January. Really?
Yeah, they're doing that
Facebook
now.
is petty when it comes to the truth and our self-love, which shows the power of our self-love. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, I've actually saw an article. I didn't read it yet. They're saying that Facebook, a lot of employees have left due to racism and discrimination.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean,
service announcement, YouTube, Facebook, all these, Instagram, all these things, they are now censoring what they want. It's funny how they don't censor when the white people say nigger, 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 or stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, you can see
but the minute that we say the truth,
right,
we're being censored.
Right.
That's my brother's in jail right now for responding to something.
And Al says, in the Barbershop movie, the community went against Ice Cube, who wanted crime to stop. Yeah, sometimes we do go against our better interests. And Marcus says, truth is, black men rarely fall in love with black women. Most black men fall in love with black kitty cat, and who is in control of the whole. If it was love of the woman, most men would not be putting their stick next door down the street.
Sure. I mean, there's some facts to that.
Yeah,
There's some facts.
No, absolutely. I get it. If you really love somebody, you wouldn't be, putting that thing all over the place. You keep it in one spot. Absolutely, 100% agreed. If you guys are watching on the watch parties, please come over to this page so I can see your comments. And Alice's best example of black woman not missing is Demetra. Thank you, Donovan, for looking out and taking care of D. Appreciate you, my brother. Yes.
Yeah, look, because D is all over the Southern California. She a little bit over here, she a little bit over there. Just making it happen. So I got to keep calling and say, where you at? What's going on?
If I come up missing, it won't take long for somebody to come up missing, because, like I said, I'm everywhere.
Everywhere, exactly.
No, but yeah, Donovan is good people. And Charlie says, Demetra is correct, tearing the black woman down on her wig, her weave, or selling her body. But I never heard of a white man talk about a white woman's wig, weave, or selling her body. And selling her body, and white women does it all. I think he said does it all, and so does the black woman or something.
Yeah,
like
well,
that.
the white woman does it more so. They're in Playboy. They're in, they're selling their bodies on a constant basis. So I'm agree with that.
Yeah, and I agree with him too. I mean, I don't see it on. I can't really say that I see it ever. Black men, Asian men, or Mexican men, talking down on a woman. Mm-hmm. I don't see it. And Marcus says one of our biggest problems is we allow everything to sound good at the podium on paper. We gave way too much respect to our issues being song and raps. Waco action to change. Action to change things beyond that. We love to raise our fists, but we fear opening our hands to do the work concerning the issue that we raise our fists to. No, absolutely. Yeah, you can't just say black power and not actually do something.
Yeah, so action to words.
I actually love that analogy. I mean, it sounds good, but what are we doing after we say that?
Right. And I think another reason why our black men do not defend our women or whatever is because we're at the bottom of the totem pole, economically and as socially. And we feel, and it's not an excuse, what I'm just saying, when the black woman put us out in the 70s, or the system put us out of the system, we're displaced, so we feel we have no power. I mean, if we can't even control our own, which we can, but in general, because of the economics, we're like, well, what do we do?
We need to fix it because we don't have a choice.
That's right. So y'all get in line. Get in line. That's the first step.
I mean,
who's with me, fellas?
Like, we want reparations, and it's nice, but are we going to get it anytime soon?
No.
Probably not.
But nobody wants to vote for Andrew Yang.
Oh, yeah,
because he's giving $1,000.
And really start doing for ourselves. Stop being so damn I ain't going to say stupid, but you guys know what I mean. And Jonelle says, God is clearly forcing us to a state in which the Honorable Elijah Muhammad warned us about, and what the Honorable Minister asked us to do as a black nation within a white one, that is pull our resources by land, build and do for self. Absolutely. Yes. That's what we're going to have to do. There is no magic pill. Somebody's
got 13 years to turn this around.
And then you think about the flip side of it. We've been getting social services, if you will, since the 1930s, 40s. FDR ushered in that whole New Deal program, and it was partially to help black people. So that's what we've been under since the 1930s. Here we are in 2019.
And we are in a far worse situation.
It hasn't helped us.
Right.
So to your point, Jonelle, the key is to do for self,
right. At this point. I mean, do what everybody else is doing. If the social program is there, okay, fine. Take advantage of the social program, the FAFSA, or all that other stuff you got to take advantage of. But why are you getting a loan for school or having your kids go into debt for all this school and then they don't graduate? We know there's all kinds of situations that happen. I'm talking about as a whole.
Right.
We've got to take advantage of the system to use it for
use it actually for what it's for, and that's to pull yourself up,
right.
if you will.
If you're gonna go to school, graduate. God dang it.
Charlie says Facebook needs to be ranked in because a lot of this missing is taking place due to Facebook and other social media. Yes. So absolutely, it's used as a portal, if you will, a conduit to actually connect the people to be snatched.
Yes. Let me ask you guys this question real quick. When you go on these social media things, how many of us have relatives, cousins, and people that and don't get me wrong, they're on them and they're doing this. Or they're showing their body. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong. If you're an attractive person, that's fine. But we've got to start telling our young women and young men, hey.
Stop flossing for the internet and all of that.
Yeah. Your looks are going to fade.
Well, yeah, I mean, and not only that, you don't know who's watching.
Exactly.
You don't know who's watching you. There's somebody, and a lot of times, too, this is another thing people come up missing. I think it's because we tell all our business.
All the business.
Ooh, I'm here. Ooh, I'm there. Ooh, I just left the house, y'all.
I'm taking a crap, y'all.
Right, or we taking pictures of our cars, and we got the license plate on social media. I mean, so there's a lot of things that we're doing that we're not aware of. That hell, a lot of us got at least 1,000 people that we're friends with. So if you're friends with at least 1,000 people, you don't know all 1,000 people.
I do.
You probably do. But you're talking about all the things that you're doing, the places you're going. You don't know who's scoping you out and who has the capability to actually find you.
Yes. I have a lot of girl cousins. Don't get me wrong. And I know these girls have crushes on these guys and rappers or whatever it is. But I always, tell them like that. Yeah, you're a pretty girl and stuff like that. But don't get starstruck.
Right.
So these uncles, male cousins, whoever you are, get into these girls and tell them you're pretty. Yes, we agree.
But educate them, talk to them, right? So they don't have a sense of need to do those type of things. And Al says, I can't use beef stew as my Chase online password. It's not strong enough. Strong enough.
Good example right there. Executive producer Al Jackson. This guy has 2 daughters. 2 daughters. How do you do it, Al?
He needs a lot of Wheaties. And Al says too many black people come up missing because black people will drive past you walking and then call and ask, where were you going earlier?
Yeah, that's a good...
Where were you going? I saw you earlier.
Exactly.
And Marcus says one of our biggest issues also is that we don't understand that black people are having the same problem everywhere that black people exist. True. But instead of supporting each other, we fight about... We fight about who came from where and who belongs to what, instead of realizing we are just one people who need to be united if we are ever going to get a real leg up. And he's talking about the
Yes.
whole ADOS fight
Yes.
with Africans.
yeah.
I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, Marcus, I'm going to have to agree with you on that because in our trip to South Africa, the tribes are being destroyed the same way as the black families are being destroyed as the woman. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but she figures she is, to herself, and it's destroying the tribe, which is the family. She's like, I'm going to get my own stuff.
And I would say this too, like most of my female friends are black, but I know black women who are single, and a lot of times they talk about it'd be nice to have somebody, to help them.
976. I'm sorry. 976.
Donovan's offering his services, but to have a companion, a male companion in the house to help with everything, don't want to be lonely and all that other stuff. But I would say too, a lot of the black women, I'm not saying anything bad about black men, but a lot of the black women I know, have been done real dirty.
But not all.
I didn't say all. I said a lot of black women I know have been done super dirty.
And the bad thing about that, I apologize for them being done dirty, but they also got to remember the next person that comes along isn't the person that did you dirty.
Right. No, I agree. And so Didi says again, likes and money are motives to success. Supposedly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard that Instagram is as of next week taking the likes away.
Yes.
What will people do?
Yes.
And Jonelle says, those that's in a state of dependency only are open to pray. Beggar has to deal with what's given. We've been in the state as a black nation from the slave ships till this present day. Elijah Muhammad said, the worst crime has been committed on us, for we've been robbed of the desire to even think and want to do for ourselves. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's the motivation to do
we
for
want
ourselves.
somebody else to do it,
And when you depend on somebody else to feed you, you're going to starve.
Right, or eat what they give you, and it might not be what you want.
Exactly.
And Pamela says, my sons travel with me for my jobs. Have to let them know, don't tell my business. I mean, but how many times do you see that on social media?
Mm-hmm.
People telling all, like, I'm one of those people. I don't like to tell all my business because, for one, everybody's motives about you are not pure. You don't know who's looking to trip you up or whatever the case is. So I say as little about me on social media as possible.
Right.
You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm not terribly a private person, but I don't think people should tell, okay, you know what, I'm going to the store right now. Okay, the store happens to be on the corner of this and that. Or, I just leave all my windows open. I go all day long.
Well,
and by the way, I live by myself.
Right, yeah. A good example, Dee gets a lot of solicitation from people from around the world that try to, get her attention.
Probably as most women do on social media.
But what I'm saying is, but because you're not putting all your information out there, you just don't know.
You have to be careful nowadays because with technology, people know how to find you.
Yeah.
People go on vacation.
White pages, all you got to is put the dress in.
Or how about when people go out to eat? Yeah. Oh, I'm going to the, Shayla Ritz over here. How do you know somebody? Out to get you, and they gonna find your ass at the restaurant.
Okay, it's been Blockbuster weekend. How many of you guys remember this scene? Sarah Connor's.
Oh, the Terminator.
Yeah. He just went to the thing, saw where she was at, and started terminating.
But so that was years ago in this movie. Now you can do that, and the Terminator don't even need to try to. Do. He's like, oh, okay, she said she was over here. All right, that was 5 minutes ago. I'm going to go see if she's still there.
Yeah, right.
And because she got a big mouth, when she leave there, she going to tell us where she going next.
And then I got a description of what she looks like.
All of that. Yeah, because she just took a picture of what she was wearing to go out to the restaurant.
Exactly.
Right. And then she was bragging about the kind of car she's driving. I mean, so it wouldn't be hard for somebody to find you.
Exactly.
And Dee Dee says, I agree, Dee. And then Al says, might I add that big baby, that's what he called me. You sure fine mofo with some word, big word that he used. Well, thank you. So anyway.
Me too, her character.
And Arthur says, of course, you shouldn't tell your entire business, just like we as black people shouldn't put our business out there for others to know and comment, good or bad. It's a family affair, yeah.
Exactly.
Remember when that used to be a thing? Don't you put our business in the streets.
Yes, but you'll be surprised. Like, I'll be at Twitter or something like that, and you'll see somebody, and then like they'll click on me, and the girl's like, and she'll solicit me.
Right.
And I'm thinking, what?
Yeah.
What are you talking that?
Right.
I'm like, oh, how, you think that, oh, maybe she's liking you back.
Right.
You're thinking, hey, how you doing? Hey, oh, well, it's going to be $50 for some pictures. Cash app.
And you said,
pictures.
1 moment. Give me 1 moment.
Hold on. Wait, what's cash app? Where can I find that? No, but I mean, that's what's going on. And it's just, it's very sad because, like I said, to me, the biggest thing that we have to really worry about, and I'm glad we brought this subject up, black wealth in 13 years. 13 years. If we're doing this now, what are we going to be doing as the countdown gets closer and closer?
Right. I mean, hell, we already working on year 12.
Right.
Right. In a couple of months. Yeah.
2 months.
And Tay says, I went out of town recently and no one knew because it's my business. I don't share my life on social media anymore.
Wrong. I knew Tay because I put a GPS on that car. I knew.
But those are the things we have to really start thinking about, because you don't know. I mean.
And you got some people out here, mental illness, I don't care what anybody says, is very prevalent in the black community. It is very prevalent. It is. And you don't know what people are going to do.
Well, yeah, it's just not wise to tell everything.
Especially
that
as a
you
woman.
Do. Like
Especially
they say,
as a woman.
move in silence. You don't have to. But that's that insatiable need that we have to tell everybody, "Ooh, I want."
I'm flossing.
I'm flossing. I'm
Look at
going
me.
here. I'm going there. I'm doing this. I'm doing that.
I think the craziest pictures I've ever seen. Now, I was born in a country town. I'm talking about this town is so country that it's like a Twilight Zone episode. If you go back there, like you go back in time, it's still the way it was predominantly, right? I think it is so weird when I see these people from my home birth town, and they've got like the car with the nice rims. They got something, and you're thinking,
why you stealing their thunder, Donovan?
No. It's nice, but like you said, you want to floss
because I want everybody to know that I got it.
But you actually, you're okay. The birth town that I'm from, and some of my people, it's like I know that.
Right.
The car costs more than where they live.
I know you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And Pamela says, I saw the Terminator yesterday. Was it good?
No, I heard it was terrible.
I like the Terminator series.
I heard it was terrible.
Yeah, I haven't.
There hasn't been a real Terminator since Terminator 2. That's it.
That's probably the last one I saw.
Yeah, they closed it at that.
And then Arson is agreeing with Ate. And then Al says, Winco has the best chicken ever. Case closed.
Yes, case closed.
Random.
Yeah.
And Pamela says, I had a stalker and that ass knew a lot. Have to be careful.
Yes.
You can, especially if they out to stalk you, they paying attention to everything you're doing.
Well, think about this too, especially you women. Not so much men, and I'm sorry it's like that. Okay, you're a nice, beautiful woman. Fast forward 25 years. Is this your mom that was on Instagram?
You silly.
No, but that's what's happening. And they're not thinking about what they're doing down the road.
Right. And Didi says narcissistic behavior. That's exactly what it is. Look at me. Right. It's all about me. I went to, and I got the new Popeyes chicken.
Yeah. There was an article I read online where they're talking about how these young people are, and Judge Mathis said something about it too, how they're recording themselves having sex. That's going to come back on you, and it never goes away. Once it's in that server, and you've shared it, it'll never go away.
Imagine going to a job interview and they says, Mr. Sadiq, hold on a second, and you hear the sound.
Yeah, I'm like,
is this you?
I'm like, yes, that's my desk work. Matter of fact, fast forward. Let me show you the No, but in seriously, like let's say you want to get a government job or something that's very lucrative. We had a person who did a bank robbery 30 years ago. She figured that it was 30 years ago and it shouldn't matter.
Well, we didn't have her. We knew her lady.
What affects you, it affects your present. Your past affects your present. And so you don't know where you're going to be 25 years from now, and then you can't get a security clearance because they see you over here with two dudes getting banged out, or whatever your situation is. So you young people, just real quick that are listening, stop videotaping yourself having relations.
Old people, young people, all that. Don't
stop doing it. Stop doing it. Just use your mind and say, oh man, that was wonderful.
Right. And then Jonelle says support Muhammad Economic Program to end poverty and want. Go to NOI.org or call 1-773-324-6000 or 1-866 602-1230 for more information. I will say that I do I donate to that every month, and I have probably for the last 2 years.
Yes,
It automatically comes out of my account.
Yes, there's a guest speaker going to be speaking at the Father's Day. He's a guest speaker. I saw the flyer. It's in Chicago during the Savior's Day.
Oh, Savior's Day?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
I
think
have
it's
to
a
check it
guest
out.
speaker or somebody. I think it was on Muhammad's page. I think I
I
saw
have to check it out. Okay.
So, a flyer. So.
And then Pamela says, you're right, Donovan, it was not as good as the old movie.
Right, it was totally terrible. Basically, the new Terminator is a hashing of the first two.
Yeah, I haven't.
And
I
they
don't
put
think
them
I've seen
together.
past the first
They got
two.
this little Mexican chick that's 5'1". I've read the review. I never saw the movie, but I've read the reviews on it. Everybody's saying the same thing. They've lost over $100 million. Oh, they lost over $100 million.
And they had Arnold Schwarzenegger in there?
But he had a small part.
I was about to say,
He had a
golly,
small part.
Terminator got
But it's
to-
basically the same Terminator
Yeah.
movie over and over and over.
And
over
Didi
again.
says it's all for likes and hits.
Yeah.
And then Al says Channel 2 here in Houston is celebrating 70 years, the first station to have black news anchors and reporters.
Yes.
Wow.
All right.
And Tay says, I Google every single person I interview. I have turned away a few people due to social media, and people just don't realize that.
Okay, then Tay, get me in there since you know me.
And Marcus says, what is disheartening is that in this country, you could bring up a different topic every day for a year and never debate the same topic twice.
Yeah.
That says something about people who fight hard. Let's see.
Thailand.
People who fight hard to exist in a place where we are not fighting hard to really exist in. Absolutely. There, especially on social media, there's always something.
And the sad thing about social media, as much as millions of people that are connected in the black media type stuff and whatever, nobody is ringing the alarm on our wealth, loss of wealth.
Well, because we're too busy talking about stuff that's, incidental and don't matter.
Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj.
All of that. But then they all right, though. They got their money,
Exactly.
When we talk about overall, though. And then Jonelle says women need to take up some form of self-defense classes and keep little weapon on them. Know how to defend yourself from fools.
Yes.
I tell you what, I know how to do all the above.
And that's a good point, Janelle. However, though, unfortunately, as a military man, do you want to know why they never really wanted women in combat?
Why?
Women are vicious fighters. Talking about mutilating and you're out there, you guys are like vicious.
My dad used to always tell us as kids, there's no such thing as a fair fight.
Yes. Women are vicious.
You bite, you scratch, you do whatever you got to do.
Cutting off nuts, things. I mean, women are very, very vicious fighters. And
It's
that's one of the reasons why they were excluded from the military.
You would think that'd be a good reason to have them in there.
Yeah, front line fighting and stuff.
And Al says y'all need some ominous music played in the background. Yeah, okay.
But
No.
yeah, but I really do think that everybody listening and the podcast people, you really got to start talking about this wealth gap because it's getting greater.
And you know what? And to that point, I want to start talking about that more because we really, really. I mean, this is like.
I mean, it's scaring the hell out of me. I'm gonna be okay. Because I got a government check. That's my only saving grace.
Right.
That's my only saving grace.
We gonna be okay because I'm gonna be over here with my bags.
Well, you saw Deanna just.
Right.
Her daughter comes over and plucks my pomegranate tree. I see where y'all going.
It was good too. Yeah, she practiced it. Okay. She says, "I'm gonna go to the door and see. I'm gonna ask him to see what he says." Right. So we passed.
Yeah.
We made it.
Look, she went to the backyard and got it.
Yeah.
Because the ones in the front weren't ripe yet.
And Didi says, I can too, D. They don't want no smoke. Absolutely. You got to learn how to protect yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I carry me a little something, and, I've known how to defend myself, self-defense-wise, for a very long time.
And I'm going to say, as a karate man myself, they call me...
Black Belt Jones.
Yes, a Toothless Jones, my character. Women, if you're going to have weapons on you, because you guys are overly aggressive, do not do more than you need to do.
Like, gouge out your eyes.
Yeah, I mean, you stab the guy. Next thing you know, you're getting charged for murder. You know what I mean? When you could have just,
Hey, I went black.
Right, yeah. Just hit him in the leg. Don't hit that artery.
No, because when I was taught in self-defense, they said you don't want to hurt them. You want to take them.
Oh no,
out.
absolutely.
You want to take them
absolutely.
down.
But in our litigious society, you got to think about
I'd
that
rather
in the civil
be
case.
sued than dead.
Right.
Okay.
In the civil case. So.
Oh, and Al says, let me make sure I got all the. Al says, I was in Walmart today and I saw this black lady crying. She told me she had lost $200. So I gave her 40 and the 200 that I found in the store. When God bless you, you have to bless others. You
Yes.
stupid.
Yes.
And his Marcus says, and one of the things that is really going south now is this housing hollering.
Oh
We
my
are
gosh.
too. The abuse our black children by police officers and killing our black people by police officers. We are getting comfortable with the same way we got comfortable with teen pregnancy, which is still an issue along with HIV and other things.
It is.
Those are the things we need to be talking about.
Mhm.
I absolutely agree. And Jonelle says women should be tough. They got a movie coming out about a women warrior from India, but all women, young and old, should be able to give a good account for themselves.
Mhm.
Don't make nothing easy. Kill the damn predator. Play no games. That's what
Right.
I was taught.
Mhm.
You know, it's easy. Sue me. It's hard to sue a corpse. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, well, the guy's dead, but I'm just
No,
saying.
I'm saying
you know.
it's hard to sue me if I'm dead. I'd rather be sued alive, you know?
Right.
And Pamela says, nah, I'm popping out eyes. Sorry, not sorry. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Okay? I want you to show up to court like,
Yeah.
I want you to be hollering for help. That reminds me of
Look, you're going to be on that new court show.
That's all right. Personal injury court.
Yeah.
That reminds me of a story I saw. As a black lady said an intruder broke into her house. She was an older lady, too. Broke into her house, and he told her he wanted her to give him oral favors.
Right.
And so she said she played along with it. It was like, okay, I'm going to do it. So she said he,
And
kneeled
bit
above
his
her.
shit
No,
off.
she said she grabbed everything.
And ripped it out. She needs to be put under the jail.
Right. She said she grabbed everything. She said she was just twisting.
She needs to be put under the jail.
She was twisting for dear life. Said she was just ringing and ringing and ringing.
That's
And
not
she
right.
said, what?
That's not
She
right.
broke into her house.
He's a victim now.
And so
No, I'm
she
messing with you.
said
Kidding.
that he kept passing out.
Yes.
And when he would come to talk about, please, lady, I'm sorry. Call the police. Call the police.
It's true. Some guys are.
So she said she did she called the police, let him go because she still had it. Let him go, and he got away. And she said she shot him in the ass on the way out.
There you go.
So,
There you go.
but they ended up catching her.
Yeah.
But she was like, "Nah, son,
Yeah.
not me."
In local news, real quick, how many of you guys have heard the ordinance that they just enacted, or they're going to be enacting in Las Vegas?
What's that
The
ordinance?
homeless ordinance, to where that if you are homeless, they're going to fine you now $1,000.
Great. Now, well, hold on. Let me just dig in my bag and get you $1,000.
Exactly. That's what everybody's saying. Because they said that, okay, I guess they have like 3,000 homeless beds. They said the only reason that you could be homeless is if the beds are filled every night, which they are. There's like 11,000 homeless
Yeah, like where are you gonna?
in Las Vegas, but it's $1,000 fine. Because what it is,
It's
what it
going
is
to
that
get
what
worse.
it is that they want to clean up that area so the developers can come in and
And not only
gentrify
that, hell, if they go to jail, what's that? Prison labor.
Exactly.
And then Pamela says, if you come from me wrong, move.
Right.
Absolutely. And Tay says, nah, I'm
I'ma fillet
someone. Come at me, you're gonna lose. And there is no let me just go and just
Well,
stop.
I'd have to be really cautious with Tay because, she has her, she was raised with her mother and her father and her sisters and stuff. So, when woman's got her father in there.
We know how to fight.
Exactly.
And then Charlie says the wealth gap in most blacks have never heard these stats. Well,
Exactly.
we do. And you know what? You're right, because a lot of times when I'm having conversations with our people,
Yeah,
they're like,
huh?
really?
Yeah, they're like, what?
Yeah. In less than 13 years, we are going to be flat. broke.
I asked them about the wealth gap. I said, just give me a number. You know what they told me? They thought the average black person's wealth is about $60,000.
$15,000 is the average black wealth
But
of black
where
people.
would you get $60,000? If we all had $60,000, we wouldn't be in some of the neighborhoods and
Right,
the
we'd be
conditions
doing
we're in.
okay, and opposed to that of 170 for white households.
Right.
And Marcus says, show you how serious Facebook is watching our conversation. Laugh out loud. I'll check what I posted before I posted it. And somehow it was auto-corrected to say something else. Wow.
See, didn't I tell you my autocorrect? It seems like now every time I do something,
Yeah.
it messes up. And
wow.
It posts, and I'm like,
They're like, no, you didn't mean to say
Yeah,
that.
I didn't
You
post
want to
that.
say this.
Yeah, I didn't post that.
And Al says, my friend dad told his daughter's boyfriend, if you hit or steal my money, I will F you dead.
Dead.
All right.
Skull F them to death.
Okay. So anyway, you guys, I don't see any more comments, and we are just about
We got 5 more
out
minutes.
of town. We got 5 minutes. You guys, is the time change jacking you up too?
It's jacking me up.
I've been going to bed at like 6:30, 7 o'clock.
That ain't nothing new for you.
Right. I mean, but and I'm like tired.
Yeah.
Like beat.
We're getting old.
Alice called me the last 3 nights, and I haven't answered. He's probably like, okay,
Mhm.
this chick is out here doing something.
No, Al, what it is Dee has been tired ever since she's come back from Houston. I wonder why.
Jet lag. Jet lag. And Marcus says, and not only are we among the missing at a high rate, no one is talking about the back then we are the largest race of people who come up missing only to be found without organs missing. Yeah, that's what I said earlier. I want to do a little bit more research on that. It is a fact that a lot of us that have been found, organs are missing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they're not just dissolving,
right,
or just vanishing out of thin air. Something is going on where they are harvesting our organs, and nobody's like, we raise hell, but we don't raise hell and take action.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what we need to do.
Yep.
And Alan says, good show. I work a lot to follow, but I will try to more often.
Hey,
well, thank you. We appreciate you.
Pamela, let me give you some advice. All our shows are archived on the Demetra K Show. You can go check it out over there. You can check it out on News from the Edgemont.
Mm-hmm.
All of them are archived there. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio. You name it, we're on there. Just put in the Demetra K Show, and you're going to see all the shows listed.
Absolutely. And so anyway, I don't see any more comments. We will be back here next Friday.
And if you guys get a chance, I'm going to be talking about on the Donovan Sadiq Show later on this week, probably Wednesday. I'm going to be talking about the wealth gap and the Kamala Harris debacle. Real quick, to give you a heads up, we got 5 minutes anyway. Let's talk about Kamala Harris real quick.
Let me get this last comment.
Go ahead.
And Charlie says they want to fine the homeless $1,000, but hashtag Andrew Yang 22-1 wants to give every American 18 years old and older $1,000 universal basic income. But they say how? Where the money comes from? Social media, billionaires that pay no taxes.
Yes.
That pay no taxes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And people like Jeff Bezos with Amazon and all of that.
Maybe if we stop these endless wars. Think about all the money we've thrown away in
the money is
the
there.
war.
The money is there.
That we could have spent right here in the United States.
And Al says, I do wonder why she is tired since she came back from here because...
that ain't what Dee told me.
Go.
She said she was coming down from the chandelier.
Go ahead.
Are you even lying to me?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go.
Okay, anyway.
Go ahead.
Senator Kamala Harris. Now, remember when she announced her campaign, it was 20,000 people. It was the second coming of Obama. Oh, it's a woman, yes! Those who watch Married with Children, Kamala Harris reminds me of Marcy Darcy in Married with Children.
Married with Children.
In Married with Children. Just a totally man-hater, right? She started her career as a side chick with Willie Brown, all stuff like that. Now, when she was a so-called top-tier candidate and Tulsi Gabbard came for her, her fellow Indian sister, woman of color.
You just had to go
there. I had to go there.
You had to go there.
Kamala was like, well, yes, I'm a top-tier candidate, whatever. This woman's polling at, she's number 5 in the race, and she's polling at 5%. She went from 17% to 5%. Now, if you watch today, and you've been following her, she has now gone to the thing of saying America is not ready for a woman of color to be president. Now she's using the race card. Right, now she's using the race card. The problem with Kamala Harris, real quick, and you can come to my show, is the fact that she has nothing, platform-wise or anything. Andrew Yang's got ideas.
But why do you think she came out with nothing? When she first came out, I know the answer. No, you know, but why didn't she come out with a platform?
Because she already had the black vote.
As we say a lot, she was resting on pretty.
Resting on pretty.
I'm the second. I've heard people say that about Kamala even before she announced that she was the second coming of Obama. She was Obama, 2.0 or whatever the case is, and so she came out with that. I mean, and she didn't have a real platform.
Right, and then guess who her donors were? She was a Hillary picked person. She met with Hillary donors, and then Tulsi came for her with the knives, and now she's using the excuse of...
Yeah, after Tulsi ate her lunch and she couldn't come back.
Yeah, now she's using the excuse that we're not ready for a black woman. Wait a minute. Hillary Clinton was nominated.
Well, Kamala underestimated black people, and that's what I would say to you guys. I want to say this to piggyback off of what Donna said, and I get you guys' comments. Is black people, despite all the despair we hear about, we are really starting to wake up, because look at the impact that we are having on people and things. Take the Harriet movie. We talked about that Friday.
Gosh, yeah.
A lot of people saying, some people saying the movie was successful. It wasn't successful. It could have been more successful, but black people band together and said, not on our watch. We got somebody like Kamala, who, will not be a successful candidate. Only thing I will say about that is, like, we're good at taking down our own. We need to also get good at taking down the oppressor, especially when it is when we're concerned. We need to get good at doing it all.
Right. Amy Klobuchar talked about Pete Buttigieg. Now, this guy's a mayor, right? A very ineffective mayor, by the way. She's saying now, well, would he be number 3? Because he's number 3 in the polls right now. They're saying, would he be number 3, because he's a man? If I was a woman...
No, I'm going to tell you why he's number 3. And Byron Allen actually touched upon this on an interview that I saw. He says that gay people, which, Buttigieg is, he's gay, they raise a lot of hell, and they don't stop until they get what they want.
And they are financially secured.
So that's why I believe that Buttigieg is in the position he's in, because gay people band together, and they don't quit. I mean, hell, everything they wanted pretty much, they've gotten it passed. So that's why, it's partially why he's successful.
But it's funny how they use the feminine card. It's like these movies. You're not going to convince anybody by playing the victim. Show us some policies. Show us what you're going to do for us. Extending the school year 3 hours for people that you locked up for truancy.
I wouldn't send my child to school that long.
So Kamala, come up with something a little bit better.
She's done.
Yeah, she's pretty much
24 maybe.
Yeah. She should have ran as a Republican. She's got to clean up her record as a prosecutor. And
as I said, too, we need to take that same energy that we have with Kamala and give it to Joe Biden and the rest of them.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And our Sonny says, I told you guys a long time ago, we're watched on social media. Things will get moving when we meet without posting all of our subject and progress. I agree, because the revolution will not be fought on Facebook.
Yes. It will not be socialized.
Right. We back in the day, they did all that stuff on the ground, and secretly. And Marcus says, these wars are starting in order to fill up the money that they are stealing in 2 places where they don't want us to know money in tax dollars are going.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. The only people making money are the same people that have been making money from the get-go. But if we take in all those trillions, we're not talking about billions, we're not talking about millions, we're talking about trillions of dollars in the last 19 years. And have put it back here in the United States, would our infrastructures be looking the way it is? Would people be out of work the way they are?
I agree.
We got to stop these wars. We've got to stop them.
And I like that, Charlie. We're going to end with that. Andrew Yang 2020. As for now, I am putting my vote into Andrew Yang. It just makes sense.
Me too.
I mean, I don't know who wouldn't want somebody say you're doing it for the money. Hell yeah.
Yes, I'm doing it for the money. It's a transaction.
$1,000 in my pocket every month, $12,000 a year.
He's buying my vote. He's going to give me $1,000 if I vote for him. A transaction. That's how it should be.
With all the other candidates, somebody else at the top is going to get the money. It might as well be everybody else getting some money too.
Thank you.
Somebody going to get the money.
And $1,000 is a drop in the bucket.
Right, exactly. So, especially to the bigger picture. So anyway, you guys, that's all we have today. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to Donovan for everything that you do. Charlie says Kamala Harris has no plan. No, she doesn't.
No, none.
Thank you to YouTube. Thank you
Tumblr, Spotify, SoundCloud. We're on it. We're on everything.
Thank you, Marcus, for everything you do. And of course, thank you to Facebook, the Ride It Out audience. We could not do this without
check out
you.
The completed, edited video on YouTube. On Demetra K. YouTube.
Absolutely. And we'll see you guys on Friday. If you guys have any comments you want us, or questions or anything, or topics you want us to cover, please let us know. We will happily, I will, do the work. All right. So see you guys. Peace to everyone.
Smack me. She got it. Smack me. Do it. Do it. Smack me. Smack me. Smack me. I wasn't trying to hit no damn button. You got the pistol. I'll dust your tail around 80 hoes. I'm going to talk about you being a female. Let me tell you something. You don't act like that. Put a phone there. On that way. Hey, you in the wrong place. Hey, you in the wrong place saying the N-word, though.
12 seconds later.
Oh, shit. Damn.